Good evening, Southeast Asia. Time check is 10 p.m. And we are finally here on the Game 5 of our second match for the dry run of the knockout stage.
Don't
Joke.
make
That's
jokes
just,
like
that's
that,
just a
Shinbu.
joke. That's
But
just
yeah,
a joke. But we are on the final
games of 5.
Yes, crazy runs.
Game
Crazy
5.
runs.
Game 5, sorry.
Yes,
It's
for
been a long
our
day.
GPL Spring 2017, we're going to be your shoutcasters for this final game. I am Shinbu with a 1, 4, and I, and with me is Atlas. And again, guys, Game 5, the second match, the second best of 5 in our knockout stage to be played and has been played between Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur Hunters versus Vietnam's Gigabyte Marines. It has been a close battle where Kuala Lumpur Hunters opened up with a 2-0 for this best of 5 series, but it seems the stars is still there for the Vietnamese representatives as Gigabyte Marines takes on 2 games for themselves, which lead us to this deathmatch.
Exactly. It seems like Kuala Lumpur Hunters ran out of steam after their 2 games. We're going to see if they can rev themselves back up because their momentum was stopped in the 3rd and 4th game by Gigabyte Marines. And I've been seeing Optimus and the rest of Gigabyte Marines just popping off in those 2 games. It seems like the first 2 games, they were still observing, gathering information. And after that, the support Camille was already revealed.
Yes.
So that means they were prepared for it the second time it was picked against them.
And you know what I've observed from this last 4 games, I mean, for this best of 5 series, these are high aggro games. Really explosive fights here and there.
Everything about GPL has just been explosive. The team is really, GPL is one of those really, one of those regions that really likes team fighting. From the Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, all of it, they just want a team fight, and their compositions are built around that.
Yes, and you know, we even came to a point that we have that interesting game 3 where we got Ziggs in the marksman position in the bot lane and a Zillion in the mid lane with a ramping up cannon in the top lane with a wit's end. And for this game, game 4, you know, despite Caspil, I mean, on this recently concluded Game 4, and we have seen Caspil really going at it when it comes to this Rengar, trying to at least make consistent pick-ups against Vietnamese Gigabyte Marines, mentioning as well that Gigabyte Marines has to be on top of their game and always be on their shoes when it comes to like being on a high alert about this Caspil's really high tempo and high aggro playstyle.
Even when the power rankings are against Kuala Lumpur Hunters, Caspiel is just fearless. Always the trust in his team. He goes in, the team will support him. But that's also the case for Optimus and Levi and the rest of Gigabyte Marines. Optimus, very mechanically skilled. There were a lot of points in the game and games where Optimus could just 1v5.
Mentioning as well that for the most, there are many instances in the game, like I have a feeling of both of these 2 teams has already shown all of their trump cards. What is left there for these 2 teams aside from their mechanics, their raw mechanical power against each other? I mean, you know, a full explosion early game high rush composition, or high rush or high damage composition has been already dealt here by the Gigabyte Marines. Kuala Lumpur Hunters has been rolling the same playstyle. Really, they even came to a point of releasing a Camille support, right?
They did bring it out in their finals in their region.
Yes.
And they brought it out here. Got a very convincing win.
Yes.
And one of the first 2 games for today. And the second time, it seems like Gigabyte Marines was prepared for it.
Yeah, the big question is, what else is there for these 2 teams?
Yeah, I mean, Gigabyte Marines has that advantage. We didn't see them in the group stages. So that means they might have one last thing up their sleeve when it comes to a Game 5. Because they were watching, they were observing, they were studying, they might have something really special prepared for their last game, for the semifinals, to ensure their spot for the finals coming this Sunday.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Most
see all
likely,
that.
you know, this is the final moment for their coaches really to influence and, you know, push their team as they try to qualify for the finals of the GPL Spring 2017. Now for the first set of bans here, what are your thoughts, Atlas?
It's going to be, of course, against our hedge, the Vladimir, being able to just dive in with Shiro. They are going to try and ban that out. The Rengar as well from Caspiel really loves diving in. The Fly Smalzar, understandable support ban. Bipolar can utilize that pretty well. It's going to be the Zillion ban, obviously, against Optimus.
Yeah, heavily counters the playstyle of Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
Yeah, if you go aggressive.
Members,
going so aggressive, say a Rengar, and it just all the effort just gets cancelled out by the Chrono Shift.
Yes, indeed. Mentioning as well here that there's going to be the Karma. Another utility to be denied here against Gigabyte Marines. Now,
you don't want to deal with that very high power lane. Because Karma paired with anyone is going to be high power. Lots of potential for poke in the game. It seems like it's going to be the Ashe pickup for Slay.
And there's going to be a very heavy investment as well in the late game here. Seeing that we get an Ashe here, we also have a Caitlyn here. So it should be intuitive that it's either a backline damage. There would be next pickups for backline damage based champions. Like an example would be the Rumble or Assassins. Of course, for these two teams, like a LeBlanc would still be viable. But look at that, that's going to be the sustained game here for the Gigabyte Marines as they actually locked in a Sona. Okay.
It's actually pretty dangerous for Gigabyte Marines already locked in this Sona. Very vulnerable in early. That means both bot laners for Gigabyte Marines are squishy, prone to getting jumped on and ganked.
Definitely.
And if Bipolar and CO4 get really good poke against Archie and Slay, it might mean that they can't fight back, even with the sustain from the Sona. But of course, Archie, known to really push his limits, push the limits of his champion. The resources definitely going to be in play here. Archie will want to maximize the value gained from his resources. It's going to be Optimus, rather Levi, going onto that Elise. High pressure.
High pressure.
Really high pressure.
Oh, there we go. There's the pickup. You got a tank. You got some a champion that really sustains, that really resets a fight, that is capable of resetting a fight. Yeah, Gragas is a flex pick, by the way, guys. It can actually go aside from the jungle towards the top lane as well.
If they're feeling, I don't think it's likely. I was contemplating maybe mid lane, but definitely not. But
what's so cool about the Gragas is it actually has a nice initiation tool that can easily displace a Sona or even an Ashe, which is going to be very rewarding.
Both Ashe and Sona, if they get displaced from the fight, if they get out of position, Ashe especially, it's going to be easy pickings for whatever else Kuala Lumpur Hunters is going to take.
Indeed, and actually, what is rewarding when you pick up a Sona support is when your team always groups up. So that's
getting separated is painful.
All the more that there is a big impact there by the explosive gas in the instance that is landed towards your team and everybody gets displaced from there. Leeson is denied here
from
against
Caspiel. Yeah, I think that's a valid ban. Caspiel, always one of the center points of Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Banning that out is going to make Slay and Archie's time there in the bot lane a lot easier. On the other hand, Kuala Lumpur Hunters does not want to deal with Optimus's LeBlanc. That's going to be two mid lane bans, very understandable against Gigabyte Marines. Optimus, one of the stars of the show here.
Okay.
Let's see, I think Gigabyte Marines might offer another jungle ban to really force Kuala Lumpur Hunters into a painful decision. That's going to be the Kazakhs, actually. Another high-pressure jungler taken away.
Two star players from these two teams, lots of lots of investment against them in this 5 ban per team system.
Yeah, let's see
you got
jungler.
3 junglers against Caspiel, and you got 3 mid laners as well against Optimus. So what would be the jungler here for Caspiel? I have reservations. I mean, knowing the tendency of Caspiel, it will really pick up the Gragas here.
Yeah, definitely.
But what else is there to
not likely, because they also banned Graves, another high-powered jungler.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 4 jungle bans for the both of these teams combined. We're going to see how they transition, how Kuala Lumpur Hunters picks their jungler. They will save that for last, while Gigabyte Marines will have their top laner and mid laner revealed after this. It's going to be Rumble. Start on that Rumble. We saw that last game. That was nasty.
Yes, man.
Very painful. And it's understandable that they would pick here again. Seems like they're confident that Shiro will be able to match that later. And looking at the Summoner spells right now, if Shiro is picking up the Teleport Ignite, that might give the viewers and the casters, us, the hint that he might be planning to go the Fizz top. Fizz top is really
available. Yes,
Fizz available would be a likely one here. The talent pickup for Optimus. That's going to be very edgy here in the mid lane. Man. All those blades flying.
Yes. I was trying to recall when was the nerf on Talon. There was a nerf on Talon. If it is on the 7.6 or 7.7, I hope some of the viewers could actually update the other viewers when was the nerf on Talon, because I'm pretty sure there was a nerf on Talon on his Qs.
Levi actually, I believe, rather Optimus, I think, did use Talon in one of his games. I'm not sure if it's in the finals of Vietnam, but he has used that before on the side of the pickup for the Fizz top.
Yes.
I think it's going to match the Rumble's damage quite a lot. You can actually, because you can delay the Playful and into the Trickster, you can cancel a lot of the damage from the Flame Spitter. That's actually huge. And even get out of the Equalizer pretty quickly.
So is that the, I actually mixed out the final pick here by the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. It was a Fizz.
It was a Fizz for the top lane.
Oh, all right.
And I'm really, that was to be expected. Fizz really one of the, not one of the, he is the only top lane in competitive that will go for that Teleport Ignite, because Playful Trickster plus all his other spells, it's going to be the Urshin Strike.
You know,
really
in competitive play, I thought in like the regular League of Legends meta, because I can do that. I can do Teleport Ignite in the top lane.
Competitive though. That's the important part. I mean, I could go Teleport Ignite Yasuo.
Yeah, I could do that on Silver.
Feed my butt off, but in competitive, that's not going to fly. It's going to be the Fizz top lane with a Teleport Ignite. And looking at the state of the composition so far, it seems like Kuala Lumpur Hunters, both teams actually have very clear win conditions.
Yeah.
Kuala Lumpur Hunters wants to do some pickoffs, separate, divide, and conquer. Let's look at the compositions here. Yes, they will try to divide and conquer.
Yes, yes. Gonna be very rewarding, really, for Kuala Lumpur Hunters if they did manage to divide Gigabyte Marines here. But there's actually the assassin lurking around.
It's gonna be Levi and Optimus working together for huge burst.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be Stark following it up, plus Slay with lots of combined damage. On the other hand, Kuala Lumpur Hunters really wants to divide and conquer here. Weaver's Wall, and plus you can use the explosive cask to just really separate the team. If they can, they might even do Weaver's Wall.
Yeah.
And then have the explosive cask, and then send one or two members of Gigabyte Marines into or out of the Weaver's Wall.
Indeed,
that's
ladies
a possibility.
and gentlemen. So here we go. This is the final game, ladies and gentlemen. Kuala Lumpur Hunters and Gigabyte Marines. Vietnam versus Malaysia. Malaysia versus Vietnam. Game 5 for our second best of 5 here in the GPL Spring 2017. Once again, please keep it up for Gigabyte Marines versus the Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
Yes, indeed. And this is going to be the 5th game, as you said. So both of these teams, like in the previous best of 5, they are playing not to lose. They won't try to go too aggressive and play to win. What they're going to do is mitigate all risks.
Yes.
If they are going to go for risks, it's going to be the ones that will be very rewarding. Like this cheese here coming from Slay and Archie. That might be a lot of poke coming from the Sona.
Yes.
Seems like they read it. Just a little bit of damage on CO4 and Bipolar.
Yes, and actually, despite picking up the likes of a Talon in this game, I would assume this mid laner here by the Gigabyte Marines would be very calculating. In every engage, every terrain would count so that just Talon could capitalize on the Assassin's Path. Assassin's Path, by
Optimus will really want to be a serial killer in this game, not just go in willy-nilly. He's going to calculate his victims' chances every time, and that's going to be his playstyle for this game. Definitely, and seems like already KLH getting pushed in here, and what is usually the lane that wants to push in the other laners, CO4 and Bipolar. Really, that is how the lane is going to be played. I think it's going to be all about the junglers.
Yes, and interestingly, it's not a biscuit pick up here for CO4 on his Luns.
Seems like he wants to go for a few defensive masteries.
Yeah, my guess is there's a high chance that he actually picked up defensive masteries here. I mean, on his the 9 point. The
12 points rather.
The 12 point is the full point mastery, or is that the... oh, it's 18, 12,
so
yes.
18, probably going 18, 0, 12 for the masteries here.
Yes, forgot. So, there, and Actually, there's a little bit of rotation here. Yes, in front of the Ocean Break. Caspiel getting got out of position. Not going to be good. Despite our doubts that Caspiel will be playing Gragas, he will be playing Gragas here. Not going to be that rewarding though. Archie is gone. Teleport still channeling here for Shiro. Did cancel that one as everybody from the Gigabyte Marines managed to win this straight up in this Riverside. And it's a 3-1, 3 minutes into the game.
Slay and Archie really pushing in CO4 and Bipolar, allow them to respond immediately to that threat.
Yeah.
And Caspiel getting caught out like that, even with the control of the Scuttle Shrine on him. He was not expecting that.
I really hope that's not a signal of Caspiel being tired.
It is a fatigue. The best of 5 is a test of spirit.
Yes, man.
And it seems like it's going to be another gank here in the mid lane.
There we go. There is the exhaust on top of that Q coming in from Optimus. Our hedge there going to be punished by the jungler and the mid laner of the Gigabyte Marines.
It's going to be a 2-0-2 Levi.
Yeah.
It's going to be a gank here in the bot lane.
Yes, of course, Caspiel may want to get back that double buff. Make sure that he gets the final hit. That's going to be the double buff on Bipolar.
The buff transfer complete to Bipolar.
Yeah.
Caspiel must be a little frustrated after that, but he's just going to go back to his own jungle and clear a little bit of the wave. Let's look at the replay here. Yeah, Caspiel gets caught out here, and Archie, because they were pushing in the lane, means that very easily respond to that. Ooh, blocks the body slam by flashing into it, and Slay CO4 dives in there. Now he's surrounded by 4. Our hedge, he makes the mistake of trying to help out a little bit. That actually cost him his life with an extended chase. That actually, there's going to be another gank here in the mid lane from Levi.
Indeed, you can see there, nice block body slam there by Archie as well. Our hedge now in the bad spot. Rappel.
Yeah, too far out.
Land. Yeah, too far out.
I correct myself. Gigabyte Marines, they are soldiers right now. They are going in it. They're in it to win it. There's nothing about that, let's play not to lose. No, they are playing to win.
Let's play this double buff Lulu as well. Let's see how can Bipolar.
Okay, the roam doesn't, I don't think it's going to pay off
too
well. But, you know, CO4 was just going to lane.
Yes.
So Bipolar, that was a little bit of time for Bipolar to roam to the mid lane. Maybe he got a chance if Optimus tries to all in.
They did predict where Bipolar would be. There's actually a ping on him on the Riverside, despite Gigabyte Marines having no vision.
He did disappear from the lane randomly.
Yeah. It's obvious, actually, you know, knowing that Lulu has a double buff.
Look at the
how should you use that?
Coming from Archie and Slay.
Indeed, man. In terms of laning, Sona is actually really good. If there is kind of a lack of a hard CC in the lane.
That's true.
She can harass you down with her passive plus her homing Qs. Yeah, so that's the thing.
They do prioritize champions if possible. Yes. Like Bipolar can even trade favorably to apply the red buff and help out CO4. It's going to be up to Caspiel. As I said, it's going to be about the jungler. So far, Levi has applied so much pressure in the mid lane. Taking out our hedge. Giving Optimus these 2 kills, 2 assists, that is pretty tasty for Optimus. On the other hand, Caspiel really hasn't done anything.
And he's aiming to continue to do so. There's going to be Optimus, puts down the W, also the Q, gets the kill on our hedge. He has the Assassin's Path. He can easily escape this one. Caspiel is here. Okay, Levi receives the Charm the Waters, gets the knock up. Not even be allowed to, reach the ground as Shiro gets that kill.
Yeah, that's going to be the consolation prize for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, but Levi always just looking for something in the mid lane.
Indeed.
Really looking to put Optimus ahead, and you can see Optimus with 3 blades in his inventory. Very edgy.
Yeah, she has
Bipolar in a little bit of trouble.
And she can. Archie is here. No exhaust available, but there is the Ignite Slay indeed. Come on, give me the kill. Bipolar will be saying bye Bipolar here as well. But it's going to be Optimus securing the last hit. Indeed, he's going to be aiming for that snowball 2-0-2 with triple long start on this talent.
Oh man, that's going to transition to probably the Serrated Dirt and Caulfield's Warhammer after he backs here.
Yeah.
And man, it seems like the positioning from Kuala Lumpur Hunters has deteriorated. Caspiel can go for a gank here in the top lane.
Kills after kills after kills. There's going to be start. Yeah, I don't think that flash is necessary. It's very unlikely he'd escape that one, especially if he receives the slow from that battle row.
Okay, so it seems like both of these teams, they want the day to end.
Yes,
They want the day to end already. They are playing to win. And that's actually, I think, costing Kuala Lumpur Hunters a lot. because they try and force a lot of things, their positioning becomes off, which leaves them open to getting caught out.
Yeah, we're playing around 1.5 kills per minute here. 6-4 and 8-minute mark. And there's lots of damage to be removed there by the Marines in the outer bot lane turret by KLH. Again, do take note that on top of these kills, objectives are not necessarily taken. It is actually just the vision game here that is an advantage of the Gigabyte Marines. But that is an intuitive approach for a game, especially if you're facing a team with a Caspiel in it.
Yeah, Caspiel, they've really out-pressured Caspiel here. Of course, Caspiel with 100% kill participation so far.
Yeah. Actually, what we'd want to observe here is the kill distribution.
Yes, that's important.
Yeah, good thing, of course, it's obvious. A kill, at least getting kills consistently, would actually prompt her in building aggressive. There's the mobility boots. As you mentioned, Levi's always been camping our edge here. Not to mention that she is building AP. But again, there are inherent risks for an Elise building AP, especially if you have no tank in the top lane. That's a rumble still in the top lane. Caspiel could easily translate into a mid-game tank, especially with the Ruby Crystal here already built for him.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the Cinder being built after he gets the gold for that. And Shiro translating later in the game. And he does have 2 kills, so he can much faster scale up much faster.
Even though they out-pressured Caspiel here, 100% kill participation is still there for him. 4 assists on top of the 4 kills of KLH. All of them distributed onto Shiro and sadly on Bipolar.
It's so scary though.
That's the problem here.
Optimus 202, Levi 213. That leaves it open for a lot more assassination. Even with Bipolar being able to enchant and protect the carries, it's still going to be pretty hard. At
the very least, you could assume that there is an obvious risk on the Elise not building tank here. Again, it's conditional. It's very correct for an Elise to build damage, especially if he's getting kills. He needs to translate these kills to offensive damage into more kills.
More kills, more pressure. But and those kills into objectives is going to be important.
But it would be nice really if those kills actually landed on start. More so, it's working well for Optimus. But the thing here is, if you'd account for obvious threat between these two teams, Optimus in Gigabyte Marines, Shiro this time for Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
They really have to mind Shiro because once he gets his Trinity Force and transitions into tankier items, it's going to be pretty hard for Slay once he jumps on him. Can just dodge a lot of damage. Equalizer as well, plus a Flame Spitter against Stark. Easily cancel out a lot of that damage by being untargetable during the duration of that Playful Trickster.
This doesn't stop the engage here by the Gigabyte Marines, knowing
Caspiel looking for
our edge wonders, but when Caspiel is here, he can actually dive in. Does he have the flash? No.
Does have the explosive cast, but does not want to risk it too much.
And actually the first one to arrive, maybe in this bot lane, would be Optimus, but the problem there is he actually with our hedge. And nice batting there by Optimus.
Signal for Gigabyte Marines to go in.
Obviously, of course, knowing that there's no Taliyah that could join this fight, but still the repel there for Elise. Let's translate this into a small 2v3 window. Here comes Optimus going big here against Kuala Lumpur Hunters. The fourth casualty for the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Make that the final Bipolar. A triple kill for Optimus and an ace. 11 minutes, 25 seconds into the game.
CO4 flashing in to get the kill into Optimus. Just makes him in melee range for that Noxian Diplomacy.
Yeah, man.
So that's going to be a 6-0-2 Optimus.
Yeah, on a talent.
He can very easily make those plays that Optimus is known for, get these like 1v3 situations and then Assassin's Path out. He does have the Storm Raider Surge.
Yes.
And with this kind of lead, he doesn't need Thunderlords. He goes in, bursts you down, and he has the escape with that Storm Raider Surge.
The meta build-up enemy for Talon is really Storm Raider Surge. He actually looks like the icon of the Storm Raider Surge.
It seems like it was completely made for him. Just burst them down.
Yes.
But I have seen a few Talons with the suboptimal Lord's Decree.
And now I'm seeing here that Optimus is actually preparing for the shotgun approach here by KLH, building definitely enough and sufficient magic resistances for the damage to arrive here from KLH that instantly mitigates the kill potential here of Shiro against him.
Yeah, Shiro and our hedge, if they ever go for that
CO4! He may have to breathe out CO2 as Optimus is on godlike form.
702. Definitely scary. Doesn't even need much help. Just needs to
I'm
get
hearing
there.
some rubble here. That's going to be a signal for Arheads to join against Archie. And yeah, the support taken in by KLH still.
Yeah, that's still Optimus. Split pushing there in the top. Shiro does have the opportunity to outplay and to kill Stark. He does not have the Chum the Waters. The equalizer is up, so it's going to be Arheads trying to take Optimus down.
That's going to be the Q in rage, puts down the W. Optimus became a pop here. There's going to be the ultimate of the Ash. Despite dodging the cocoon. Nice setup there. Open up by Slade.
Yeah,
wow.
It's going to be Caspiel. Gonna get 2v1.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be a double kill by Stark, outplaying Shiro and Caspiel. That's gonna be Gigabyte Marines with full control over this game in every lane. It's gonna be Slay.
Yeah,
gonna be in the mid lane here, pushing.
Take note, guys. There is no visible tank here for Gigabyte Marines. It's the same playstyle as in Game 3. They're actually just, you know, dishing out big damage in front of KLH.
Go in.
Yes, KLH can still shut this down. Okay, they just need to anticipate any form of complacency from Gigabyte Marines.
But that's so hard, though.
Definitely hard because the talent is just slippery and right now is building defensive.
I think it's also the mindset. The players from Gigabyte Marines, they are seasoned veterans. Even you saw in the interview,
indeed,
from Optimus, he was calm and collected, discussing how they're going to beat down Kuala Lumpur Hunters, and I don't think they're going to start tilting now or start being overconfident now. But of course, Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they are the go-getters. They want this win.
Indeed.
So I expect them to really step up despite the 7K gold deficit.
Yes, because damn, you cannot really afford to give any kill to Optimus anymore. Right now,
703.
Another core item. If that Black Cleaver is complete, this is going to be a totally one-sided game against Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Do take note, Leandris is completed on Stark, mentioning that there's also the Sonya's Arglass here. Jump the Waters gets an displaced there by the explosive cast. Battle Roll has been used, Enchanted Crystal Arrow won't connect on to anyone. With the support of Bipolar, that is Shiro shutting down Stark. That is nice.
Actually, Shiro taking that shutdown gold, pretty big for them. Now he can complete the Triforce after he returns to base. But look at the pressure here. Levi and Optimus, always the assassination squad. Now transitioning that threat that they have, because CO4 can't go near, the assassins become these powerful split pushers.
Indeed, they do know.
Looking for something.
Gigabyte Marines, if KLH made a mistake of engaging and not accounting that Gigabyte Marines knows that they have no explosive gas, it's gonna be bad for them.
Yeah, Optimus waiting around the wings here. Oh, Arheads.
There is the ultimate, but did not complete the kill. There are minions. Optimus will fall back.
Does not want to risk giving all that shutdown gold to Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
But you know, if there had been a BF sword on that one, or maybe another selected Dark, that's an instant burst on Arheads. But of course, it's still intuitive. Optimus would just want to play this one methodically, and that's a very dangerous thing.
As I said, serial killer assassin for Optimus here. Always going for his targets, but never overcommitted, never getting Bloodlust get in the way of his plans to kill every single member of Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
There is a good reason why all those professional players mentioned the name Optimus in
those interviews. Who is the team that you are most scared and want to face? Vietnam. Who is a player you want to face? Optimus. 703 right now, and still looking to improve that KDA. It's gonna be the 2-3-man here in the top lane. Definitely gonna take this turret down. More gold. That's gonna be an 8K gold lead for Gigabyte Marines.
The Vietnam team very familiar on how to choke out their enemies, and so far no altar turrets taken in. But the Malaysian
they are gonna try and take this Rift Herald, and that's gonna be huge. If Stark probably gonna be the recipient of this Rift Herald buff.
Yes,
it's gonna make Shiro's time a lot harder than the top lane. Even with this 3-2-0, even with this Triforce, even with this Corrupting Potion with the Dark Seal, it's gonna be extremely hard.
Just a scouting happening here in the top lane. Shiro still alone, and at least there is a subtle reset in the map here in favor of Kuala Lumpur Hunters. But the problem here is that definitely they should be worrying about the vision game. Right now, the main reason why this game has toned down is because the boarding objectives against Kuala Lumpur Hunters has already been taken in has been taken in by the Gigabyte Marines.
Yeah, they have to go deep for a lot of the resources that they really want. So right now, just looking for opportunities, farming it up, extending their lead. Because look at the CS lead for the bot lane and mid lane here. Optimus is 40 above. It's going to be Shiro missing the Chum the Waters.
Yeah, that's the Chum the Waters, not connecting.
Oh,
Just
Levi.
another step to be in range of the cocoon, but KSPL is
Yeah,
there
they
as
back
well.
off. They back off. They have to.
They have to.
After
definitely.
that, after missing that crucial ultimate.
And that's the thing. Actually, there's a very good chance that KLH may win that trade. All they need is to sidestep the equalizer, and that's a lot of damage gun already. Are not connecting against Gigabyte Marines.
But if it comes to it, a fight between Stark Levi and Shiro Caspiel, it's even without the equalizer hitting. I think it's going to go to Levi and Stark with the lead that they have.
In terms of the item lead, maybe if the torch did connect, but just my thoughts, maybe it's because of the Playful Trickster. It actually is a very nice kid, quite the signature skill really here of a Fizz. Knowing that Playful Trickster is very capable of mitigating a lot of damage here. Optimus has an idea of where Caspiel is, but of course you'd have to account that Caspiel already built defensive for this game.
Does have a wee bit of armor penetration lethality from the Yomu's Ghostblade.
Yes.
Looks like he will want to spend all the gold he gained, but looking at let's look at of course, Gigabyte Marines has the itemization advantage, but also because of the threat that Levi has been putting out because of Optimus just roaming around with Assassin's Path. That means that Slay and Optimus himself have had a lot of time alone with the minions. Slay, substantial. It's going to be almost 50 CS late over CO4. Optimus, around 30 and over R-Hedge. That's huge.
Alright, so a play for the red Rumbleback. All you need is to get close to him so that you just get the aggro and magnetize him to your allies.
Stark.
Yes, this is very risky for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Just in my opinion, they could actually just stall this Baron Siege against Gigabyte Marines and push that mid lane. Again, if they lose this trade, losing 2 members, it should be an instant Baron for Gigabyte Marines, and it could be game-determining fight. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Teleport has been cast. We'll take note that they're in the bounce spot for the equalizer. The ultimate by Dalia will try to stop the members here for Gigabyte Marines, but look at the back line. That's going to be Optimus hammering down the members of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Shiro seems to W. One final Q did not die, but his teammates will, and once again, he will join them. That's going to be Caspiel running for his life. Assassin's Path, one final Q, and Optimus opens up the eggs with a triple kill.
Optimus just making mincemeat out of Kuala Lumpur Hunters, and with that team fight winning, it seems like they will go for this inhibitor. That's going to be the inhibitor turret. Of course, the death timers are relatively short, but look at this. This is going to be Slay just demolishing those turrets.
Very risky position.
As well as Optimus here in the bot lane. So this might actually be an inhibitor plus an inhibitor turret, which is huge. And if they're confident, might even get 2 inhibitors.
Well, they're going to count for the ultimates available here. Do take note of the Talia.
So they do back off. They do back off.
They do back off.
Good call, good call.
Yes.
But that is going to be a 13k, almost 14k gold lead. 4 Gigabyte Marines after the team fight. Let's analyze what happened here. CO4 taking the brunt of the Shattered Crystal Arrow here. Even though the equalizer does not directly go on him, Slay just being surrounded by Levi as well. And look at Optimus taking all of that aggro. While they were chasing Optimus, Stark was roasting the back, putting them on the back burner. And then Optimus just turns around, shreds them apart, turns them into some barbecue, meat for barbecue there.
Actually, coalition kebab.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway,
man.
actually, RH is already dead for that fight. All that Optimus needs is just to anticipate the returning blades of his ultimate. And yeah,
imagine this. Optimus puts out so much, though. It's going to be Stark.
Oh yeah, all you need, Enchanted Crystal Arrow, of course.
Should be a lot of resources
sidestep, a lot of, yes, gonna be burning that one. Ultimate Chop the Butters on Levi, but Shiro runs out of gas with 4 members collapsing onto him. It actually opens up a probable call for a Baron, knowing that
they are looking for the Baron call here, and
did not spot the ward there.
If Gigabyte Marines does take this Baron, they're just gonna make beef rendang out of Kuala Lumpur Hunters, with Stark roasting them and Optimus shredding them down. It's gonna be Optimus leading the charge again.
Yeah, and actually there's a very low kill threat against Optimus here. All they need is to actually putting down his base, impaling members here of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. RH don't manage to burst Archie But look at that, Optimus with the Baron buff. Double kill now for the mid laner, the god from Vietnam, as he tries and he leads the push here for the Gigabyte Marines.
That's Optimus, Vietnam's own unkillable Demon King. That was like almost 3 solo kills by him, just picking off isolating targets and then chasing them down. It seems like they will go for this with their Baron buff for this second inhibitor, while Levi taking that Ocean Drake. A little bit of a bonus there of regeneration. But the big thing here is they get the Baron, they get another inhibitor.
Yeah.
Now look at this. That's a 15.5k gold lead in favor of Gigabyte Marines. Let's look at how all of that transpired. Look at Optimus.
I want to see how
Bipolar is isolated here, using a lot of cooldowns, and Caspiel too scared, too waiting for the Baron steal here, which means Optimus just can easily shred him down as well. This is essentially a 1v3. As Optimus, with the threat he has, just pushes everyone out from the Baron pit, meaning that a steal is unlikely. And even if a steal did come, it's going to be Optimus shredding direct. Oh, that's going to be Shiro.
You know what's up with this? Oh wait, hold on, that's gonna be the God. Will he be receiving his first death in this game? No, he did not.
They delivered him to Shiro.
Yeah, it was delivered to Shiro. There is the Shattered Crystal Arrow. Oh my God, that's gonna be the slay. And Optimus finishes up the kill, a double kill for him against the mid laner here of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. That isolates Bipolar. Gonna be leaving the rest of the members of Kuala Lumpur Hunters for his allies. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be the second Nexus turret going down as Vietnam's very own Gigabyte Marines proceed to the Garena Premier League Spring 2017 Finals. Nicely done there by Optimus, by the Gigabyte Marines. And just observe, it's just really weird to say this. And anyway, it's already weird really for this game.
Optimus,
I just want to mention, this game, if it is a word, deja vu, it's like a deja vu really. We got 2 matches, best of 5, right? We got 2 matches, best of 5. And actually, there is this underdog team coming in from the group stages.
Looking really good.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
Groups, coming into
well, it's actually a reverse sweep pulled off there here by... It's actually
this is a different story.
Yes,
but it's still, the reverse sweep potential was there.
The one who got the Thalia in the game 5 losses. Do take note, Mineski has a Thalia in the mid lane as well. And it's the same problem. I think could be a better mid laner which deals more consistent damage. Yeah, and
I do think that Optimus being so on point, never missing a beat there, as well as Shiro. That 2v1 as well was a huge gold burst of gold for him, and I think it was Levi.
Yeah.
Levi always. Without Levi, Optimus, I don't think he would have popped off, or it would have been harder for him to pop off. With Levi, so much pressure. Mid lane, top lane, and then just outpacing Caspiel at every point of the game. So later in the game, it was just Optimus shredding everyone, and then Shiro that was going to be top laner roasting everyone. As I said, making beef rendang out of Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
Not to mention how the Vietnam team execute these fights. The way, if you observe it, there was Levi actually setting up for the early game. But the mid game clash, if you account for it, the way Optimus tries to duel up or pull off these skirmishes, there's always this follow-up arrow. How can they come up with that calculated plays? Right?
As I said, serial killer calculations come from Optimus together with his team.
Yeah, I mean with Slay and Optimus, right? In the one on the blue side jungle is actually okay because it's a corridor, it's a narrow corridor, but the one in the base, the way Optimus sets that fight
really
up.
That was also the early game, lots of mistakes coming from Kuala Lumpur Hunters, positional mistakes.
Indeed, it's first up by Caspiel.
Positional mistakes against assassins are the most lethal because that's going to be Levi getting onto you, biting you to death, and it's also going to be Optimus just slicing you to bits if you're out of position.
Unless you have Saya was a Rakan to aid you, and this is a different story.
Not really.
Gagas there is a fat guy all alone when he was caught up in the Ocean Drake. My God, nicely done there by the Vietnamese team. I mean,
congratulations.
That game 5 was actually an all-out brawl, a play for mechanics there, and indeed. Again, guys, it was shown to us by the Vietnamese team as they qualified and head to the finals here in the GPL Manila, the GPL Spring 2017 Finals to be held this April 16, live from the Samsung Hall of SM Aura.
Yeah, it seems like
Bonifacio Global City, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna be in SM Aura. Yeah.
Yes.
It seems like the power rankings created by the analysts, the casters, were accurate.
Very accurate, man.
Of course, we're gonna see the final results of that in the finals in April 16. We'll all be seeing you there.
Yes, of course, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we thank you a lot for watching the whole stream. It's been a really long day.
It's like over 12 hours.
Yes, indeed. It's been a really long day, and still we're really pumped up for the quality of games that we get to receive. And of course, we would like to thank not just the viewers, but of course for our partners who made this event possible.
Our major sponsors.
Of course, we got Plantronics there for our headsets, PLDT for our connection, of course, our partner Cafe, where our professional players gets to have unlimited practice, and that's going to be Korean Gate iCafe, official partner cafe of the GPL Spring 2017. And again, as you've seen earlier, that's going to be on April 16. We'll have a quick break for tomorrow, this Saturday, but on Sunday we'll see each other and see who will go to the mid-season invitationals, who will be our region, Southeast Asia's representative to the mid-season invitationals.
It's going to be at 3 p.m.
Yes, Thailand or Vietnam. Indeed. Really? And you're going to be analyzing there.
Yeah, I'm going to be analyst desk with Iconic and Neep.
Yeah, and I'm going to be hosting there, of course. Anticipate all the other casters there. You got Asrai, you got Vulcan again, and of course, there's going to be Amplifier,
my boys.
Iconic, of course, in behalf of the whole GPL team. In behalf of the whole GPL team, it's been a momentous day. It's been a very, very interesting day and a long one.
Long day. Two game 5s.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching our stream, and thank you so much for showing your support, not just on the stream, but of course for your respective teams, for your respective countries here. We are all summoners here, and as long as we continue to play the game, you know, we are like connected in some way, one way or another. So there you have it, guys. That's gonna be our conclusion for today. We have been your shoutcasters for this game. I am Shinbu with a 1, 4, and I. And of course, with me is my partner, Atlas. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the conclusion of the knockout stage, the semi-finals of the Garena Premier League Spring 2017. We'll see you guys this Sunday at the finals. Nagasaki will be playing. Nagasaki are not going to be that rewarding though. Archie is gone. Teleport still channeling here for Shiro. Did cancel that one as everybody from the Gigabyte Marines, knowing that there's no Tali that could join this fight, but still the rappel there for Elise. Translate this into a small 2v3 window. Here comes Optimus going big here against Kuala Lumpur Hunters. The third, the fourth casualty for the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Make that the final bipolar. A triple kill for Optimus and a ace. 11 minutes. That's gonna be the Q in range, puts down the W. Optimus became a pop here. There's gonna be the ultimate of the Ash. Despite dodging the cocoon, nice set. Teleport has been cast. We'll take note that they're in the bad spot for the equalizer. The ultimate by Thalia will try to stop members here with Gigabyte Marines by looking at the back line. That's going to be Optimus hammering down the members of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Shiro seems to W. One final Q did not die, but his teammates will. And once again, he will join them. That's going to be Caspiel running for his life. Assassin's Path, one final Q. And Optimus opens up the ace with, and actually there's a very low kill threat against Optimus here. All they need is to actually putting down his base, impaling members here of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. RH don't manage to burst RG, but look at that, Optimus with a bad buff. Double kill now for the mid laner, the god from... You know what's up with this? Oh wait, hold on, son. That's gonna be the god. Will he be receiving his first damage game? No, he did not.
They delivered him to Shiro.
Yeah, he was delivered to Shiro. There is the China Crystal Arrow. Oh my god, that's gonna be the slay. And Optimus finishes up the kill, a double kill for him against the mid laner here of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. That isolates Bipolar. Gonna be leaving the rest of the members of Kuala Lumpur Hunters for his allies. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be the second Nexus turn going down as Vietnam's very own Gigabyte Marines proceed to the Garena Premier League Spring 2017 Finals. Nicely done there by